Now the story that is captivating Connecticut, the nation, and in fact the world, the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos. With us here today is former prosecutor and defense attorney Ryan McGuigan. Ryan, thanks for being with us here on the program.
Good morning.
And you know, I look back at the 27 years that I've covered Connecticut, and I can't remember a case like this that has captivated people's attention so much. Why is that?
Why? Because it's a bloody collar case, and the one that I could possibly mention to you or refresh your recollection is the wood chipper case, and that captivated people's observation because which is so it's divorce, which a lot of people have experience with. About 50% of our marriages end up in divorce, and people when they're getting divorced they have a lot of emotions and they run high, and when they're not checked, these are the things that can happen. So it's close to home for people. So I think that's why it fascinates people so much. And also, you know, when they see outwardly that there's a family that has 5 children together, they assume that there must have been a lot of love there. And so they're just wondering what could possibly have happened to lead to this.
Let's put on your prosecutor hat for just a moment here. So right now, as of the taping of this program, they have not found Jennifer Dulos' body. There's no witness that says that he did this.
Correct.
How does a prosecutor go forward in this case?
With this case, apparently from what they did yesterday, that's how I would have assumed that the case would have gone down, which is they meet with the girlfriend and they meet with her and they essentially say one of two things. We can charge you with being an accessory after the fact, or we can charge you with being a co-conspirator in a murder. One way you'll be getting 60 years, and the other way you'll be getting 20 or less, 15 or less, excuse me. And which would you like? And so you squeeze one of the co-conspirators to flip on the other one, which probably is what's going to happen. She has experienced counsel, and I've known Andy for years, and so I would assume that that's what happened.
Can you get a conviction without a body?
Well, you're going to need at least either a body, or you're going to need a probate court to declare the person dead, one or the other. So you will need, you don't need the full body. It appears tragically and horrifically that this was a dismemberment case. So if you could just get one piece of it, even hair, can be presented to a probate court with other evidence, of course, and a probate judge can declare them dead.
And you say dismemberment because of all the blood splatters at the scene?
The scene, and also it was reported by people in the area of one of the homes that they heard loud banging, like metallic banging, and that could be consistent with. And then you had 30 bags of evidence being dropped off in particular areas, so that would indicate that there was some sort of dismemberment.
And they have not yet put him at the scene because his phone was not with him or off at the time, correct?
It looks like that he did not bring his phone with him from Farmington to New Canaan, but when he was back in the Farmington area, he picked up his phone again, and then he used his phone or had it on him when he drove to Albany Avenue to drop off the evidence.
Can that be an obstacle for prosecutors?
It can be, but no, there's other circumstantial evidence. Once you put him at the scene on a video camera, dropping off pieces of a body, then you have your case.
Let's switch to your defense mode for a second. So there's no body right now. There's no confession that we know of. And how do you defend this person when he was caught on video with these bags with her blood on it?
Sure. What's in the bags?
Clothing, they say?
They
evidence,
say.
Sponges?
Where do they have? Where are the bags? Where's the body? Where are the where's the solid smoking gun evidence? You don't have any. And so, but that's not going to be presented. That won't be. You won't be able to discuss that till you get to a trial. So that's where this is going to go, one way or the other.
So in terms of the sponges to clean up blood, he doesn't have to take the stand, obviously.
No, he doesn't. And the evidence speaks for itself, and that's, okay, well, I understand that, and there's not much cross-examination outside of the collection of the evidence, but there's going to be so much of it. But you say, okay, well, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of material that show that there was a cleanup, but there isn't any evidence that shows that there was a murder, and you don't have, by the way, a body.
Walk us through, because, love is a powerful thing, and this mistress, Michelle Troconis, obviously was defending him by not cooperating at the very beginning. Now they believe that she is starting to cooperate. How does that take shape?
Well, when I looked at the case, my initial first glance conclusion was that he probably murdered his wife, and then he probably either dismembered or got rid of her body somehow, and then brought her in, the girlfriend, and said, "Look, this happened. It was a mistake. I couldn't help myself. She hit me, and then I hit her back, and then she was dead." So that would be an accessory after the fact, when she's helping him clean it up. But the trouble with the case going to be for the defense is, or her defense attorney is, how did the car get to the park, and who drove the second car from the park back to Farmington? Who went from the wife's house to the car, to the park? Who followed behind, picked him up when they dropped the car off and went back? And it suggests only one person was involved in doing that.
Very briefly, you had a lot of criminals as your defendants. Put us in that person's mind for a second. After Jennifer Dulos was murdered, why do you think they did what they did?
Panic.
Acute, like, in terms of dismemberment and drive to the north end?
I think that was planned out, just not well planned out. He is a exceptionally bright person. I believe that he went to Columbia, so he's educated. But the trouble is that nobody has any experience normally in murder, and these people don't seem to have any experience. But it seems as though that they planned this out as best they could. It's just not good enough.
Made some mistakes, and that's what usually leads
That's
to
what happened with the cell phone being brought to Albany Avenue. That was a fortuitous mistake for the state.
Ryan McGuigan, former prosecutor with Ryan McGuigan, and now you're a defense attorney with Ryan McGuigan. We thank you very much for being here in the program.
Thank you very much.
It's a fascinating case. We have the very latest on our website right now and tonight on the news with Kevin Hogan. We thank you so much for watching this Sunday. Have a great day, everybody.